Hello students. I'm making this video for, I think it's week 6. Yeah, it is week 6. I just wanted to say hello. A few things. Don't forget that after this upcoming week, that your rough draft will be due Monday. So not tomorrow, right? But the next Monday after that. So a week from tomorrow. So I just wanted to remind you of that. One of the other things that I wanted to say is that, for this paper, it can be kind of hard to incorporate, interviews into a paper. I would just ask you to kind of look at some of the examples, the readings that we have, and think about ways that you can kind of incorporate their own words without kind of naturally into the paper, right? So how can you kind of use what they've said and bounce that off what you want to write about, right? Or use what they've said to, back up a point that you're giving, or to speak to something, a larger theme that you're writing about. That can be difficult, so if you have any questions, just ask me. Of course, when I read your rough drafts, I'll comment on that. So this next upcoming peer review, in a couple weeks is going to be different. We're not going to do the writing center this time. One, because it's just been so packed, and two, I think the way that we're going to do it is we're going to kind of, for the first 3 papers, we're going to do kind of 3 different kinds of reviews. So this next one's going to be a peer review where you're going to, send your rough draft to your peer, and you're going to get feedback from them. They're going to do feedback for you, and I'll have a little sheet that you fill out, so it's not just like random comments, right? And then you'll have that, going into the final draft, and you need to turn in you'll need to turn in your comments to the paper. So I would advise you save those to a separate file. So make sure that you're thinking about that going into it. And then the third paper, we're going to do personal conferences with me. So I'll have a sign-up sheet for that. We'll just do them over Zoom or Discord. Either way, I found that both work for my previous classes. So that's going to kind of be a one-on-one type thing where we're going to work for. I usually do 10 minutes a session, and we'll get comments back and forth for that, and I think that'll be really helpful. And then the fourth paper, the final paper, we're going to do both peer review and conferences with me. So it's going to be a little bit more, but it's the last paper, and I think it'll be good. So one thing that I wanted to talk about before I go, is that with labor-based assessment, a lot of these, the impetus is kind of how much you want to get out of it. So I would encourage you to when you're writing your revision letters, to really carefully consider, okay, why am I doing this? And how do I want to think about that? It's not that you didn't do that for the first one. It's just that I would encourage you to kind of really carefully think about it. Not because you guys aren't good writers, right? You are great writers. I've been very happy with a lot of the work that I've read so far. But I think the learning comes, the becoming a better writer, the becoming a better thinker, right? Comes in thinking, okay, why do I make this decision? Why do I change this thing? How can I justify this? How can I make this the best that it can be? And if you can write it out and say, okay, this is why I did it, and you can be assured of, okay, this is the best decision that I can make, I think that's going to be really helpful in the long run. I think that's going to be really good for your thinking habits and your writing habits, and your decision making, right? And I think that's part of like what a composition, especially Comp 1, is about. It's about, how do I think about a thing? How do I write these ideas? What's the best way to edit? What's the best way to get my ideas out there on the paper, right, to another person, right? And ultimately, right, that's what education is about. I know things. How do I get those ideas to other people, right? And you may not be doing it entirely through writing, but I think this kind of really in-depth, okay, why do should I make these changes? I think that's really going to help you with all kinds of different decision making going into the future. And I think it gives confidence in your own ideas. If you can articulate and say, okay, I've done this right, or I've changed this thing and made this thing better, and here's why, right? That's really empowering and really cool for me to read. And then when I read through it and I see that you did that, I'm like, wow, that's awesome. That's great. I love to see that. So that's just a few things. So for the upcoming week, of course, just make sure to get your stuff done. I have a little spreadsheet, keeping track of everybody as you get your stuff done. So remember that you can only miss 1 if you want an A, 2 for a B, 3 for a C, and then after that, a D and F. I've been very happy that I haven't had to worry about that too much with both of my classes. So that's been great. Keep up the good work. Keep on top of your stuff. That's one of the biggest things is, okay, how much work do I have to do, and when can I get this done? What's the easiest work for me to do, and what do I need to prioritize, right? So if you're struggling to get those done, or if you're having to do them all on Sunday night, right, I would advise that you prioritize that and do them, throughout the week. But I've been really, you guys have been great. Guys and gals have been great. It's been really encouraging to have such a good class, and it's been it's been difficult not being in a classroom to see any of you. And I'm sure it's been difficult for you too. So I just wanted to say thank you for all your hard work, and keep it up. I hope this catches you when you're okay, right? If you're struggling with anything, let me know. I've been a little bit under the weather, so if I'm not as responsive, I'm sorry. I will try to be as responsive as usual. Yeah, thank you for all your hard work, and I will talk to you later.